question a piece, if you could, and ask me something I can be quick on. You, darling, you've been very good. Hi.
What's your most embarrassing school memory?
My most embarrassing school memory?
Any to choose from?
I was doing a school play and I had to trip on a hammer when I walked out on stage. It was this ridiculous little thing called Phantom of the Soap Opera. And I was playing like this Columbo-like detective who was very, clumsy, very smart but very clumsy. And my first thing was to come out on stage and to trip over this hammer and do this amazing pratfall, which I was very good at. It was I felt down a lot. I had a lot of practice. Incidentally, the secret of falling down in public and not getting laughed at is to stay down. Think about it. So, as I'm walking out on stage, this hammer, as I trip over it, catches, like the claw of the hammer catches my foot, or catches my shoe foot, so it doesn't hurt me. But when I fall, it flings the hammer good, like it must have been like 100 feet. Yeah, I mean, it's probably 2 feet, and I'm just a wuss. But I mean, it went whoop, and when I fell, I'm like, yay, the hammer comes right down. It made for great theater. It's like, whoa! Everyone! Another embarrassing moment on stage for a high school play. We did the play Wait Until Dark. There's a scene where I had to, basically all the lights go out and the last scene is all done in the dark. It's terrifying, and I'm like, well, whatever. And basically, we had a vase that I'm supposed to be splashed in the face with. Because the protagonist, I'm the villain, she's the protagonist, I'm like torturing her for information or whatever. She's supposed to fill this stuff with ammonia, really just water, obviously, and splashed it in my face. And in the scuffle, of course, the thing fell on the floor the night before and broke. And we thought, well, we don't have time to buy a new one. We'll just glue it because it was like a matinee show. So we just glued it together, and she filled it way too full with water the next round. So when she goes, she puts all this weight behind it, and the water just falls out, and bang! And my next line after that was like, I can't see! And it was so those are two that come to mind. You, darling.
You guys started
I can't talk about it yet. Is it a book of service question?
Yes.
I can't talk about it. NDAs. I'm very careful about what I read when I sign now. But we're certainly looking forward to it.
You know Visas.
Huh?
Sebastian's yet?
What's that?
Visas Sebastian's yet?
I can't.
When he says he signs an NDA, it means everything is going to happen, right?
Right.
Yep. Talk about all the things he's doing.
You with the, I see the plaid sleeve. Yes,
So
sir.
I understand that you'll be voicing Ray in Tatum 3.
Yes, I'll be ready.
Fangirls.
Sorry, fellas.
Swimming.
What? No, I cannot get it. That's also protected by NDA, so we have to wait for the release of it. Don't worry. I'm also working on the show as an adaptive writer, so I get to coming up and going down. So hopefully, if it sucks, it's my fault. Who would win in a fight, Rose Tyler or Marty McFly? Shit, Rose Tyler. Marty McFly, I mean, he might get one good hit in that one good hit. But Rose is a chat girl, she can take one good hit. You, Red Sleeve.
Are you channeling Okabe with your Dr. Pepper?
Yes, I am. I was like, I must have Dr. Pepper! And it appeared. It's the drink of the intelligentsia, the ambrosia of the cognoscenti. Another Red Sleeve over here.
I was wondering if you guys actually tried poutine before.
Oh yes, I've tried poutine before. We're going to try some later today as well. Because my boyfriend has not, and we described it to him, and he's like, yes. It's like, it's basically fat with fat, and a little slight heart attack, and fat. In the word poutine, it sounds like a dirty word. You with the mask on your head. Yes.
I know it's been a few years, but is there any chance that Black Blood Brothers might get anything else added to it?
I'm an actor, so I'm the last person to know about these things. I haven't heard of anything coming down the wire. It was based on a radio play in Japan, and as far as I know, that thing was just kind of a one-off. It was never meant to be a big series. It would be a shame. It's a shame because I think there's a lot of material there for one, and Jiro will always be very close to my heart because he was my first true lead role. So maybe one day, but nothing yet, as far as I know.
Was there anything particularly memorable for you about doing Julius Kresnik?
Yes, it was my first gig in LA. Actually, I do most of my stuff is done either in New York or in Texas. In fact, about 90% of it is Texas. And Julius Kresnik, rather, was the first chance I had to record in LA, and I was actually directed by the wonderful Wendy Lee, who most of you know as Faye from Cowboy Bebop, and she was an absolute dream to work with. And it was cool getting to be Josh Greeley, who's a dear friend and has been for years. It was really cool getting to be his dick older brother. I gave it to him a lot of shit. So, and a little bit of trivia for you, but Lauren Landa, who plays Annie in Attack on Titan, is also a dear friend of mine. I stayed with her while I was recording it. So, yes, it's all one big happy family. We do lunch together. We stay at each other. We sleep on each other's couches. And we ask each other for money when the bills do. You, darling. Yes.
Okay, request. In your sexiest Sebastian voice, we say, "Yes, my lord."
Well, you have to order me to do it.
Damn it!
Please, do it now.
Sebastian, this is an order. Say, "Yes, my lord."
Yes, my lord. Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
You do know he's a demon who wants to eat your soul. I don't care if you've got a sexy British voice. The old Eddie Izzard saw that's like the British. Only the British can get away with that because anything you say in a British voice, they're like, whatever, just. That's how they rule the world for 400 years because they're like, hello, yes, hello, wonderful native person. Would you like these shiny beads?
I don't know. I'm
Here,
here
take these beads. I'm going to take all the land from here to the horizon. Thank you. British voice. I was at a con and I was doing the British voice. After the con was over, I stayed in the hotel for a few days. My hotel complex to that wretched place we call Normal. And the concierge was new, hadn't seen me interacting with fans all the weekend, so I was like, yes, victim. So I go to her and I do the Sebastian voice, because I do that all the time. I'm such a dick. And she's this robust girl, and she hears me going, hello, how are you, darling? It's been nice to meet you. Thank you. You had it's very lovely. Do you have? And she's like, no, stop it. What is that coming out of your mouth? Quit. And I'm like, I'm like, oh, good, I got one. So I talk to Laura Sebastian's voice, and she's like, no, stop. Deborah, come here, Deborah. Deborah comes over. Speak. Hello, Deborah, lovely to meet you. Nice to meet you. Sorry if my accent is throwing you off. She said, see, if you were my boyfriend and you spoke like that to anybody else, I would kick your ass. With that voice comes a great responsibility. Going back with the yes.
I have a request. Would you do your favorite line as Kiyoya from Where Eyes Goes?
My favorite line is Kiyoya. Okay, everyone who's not a girl, please close your ears. Or will thank me later. Kiyoya line is the line, well, you can always tell me with your body. I would hope if any man, however cute or smart they were, said that to you, kick them in the ball. Hashtag yes, all women. Okay, let's see, what time we got?
We have a few minutes.
A few minutes, oh good. Hey, just lightning round stuff really great. All right, you, there, your glasses in the top, yes.
Okay, have you ever watched 50% Off?
Should I?
You
All right.
parody of 3.
Is it not, well, it was a parody of 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to watch it then. I am very much steeped in 3 right now. So, awesome. Thank you for the recommendation. Lacey.
Okay. Can I give you a dare?
No. You can give it to me. Maybe I'll do it. What's the dare?
Every CL you see today, can you run up to them and do your Sebastian voice, the sexiest Sebastian voice you can?
Why do you say sexy, Sebastian? Yeah, I do that anyway. You don't have to do me. I'm at a con. I'm just like, how are you? And they go, There's always that brief moment of realization before they give chase. And then I'm gone. There's a Michael Schaefer cloud. Let's see you with the yes, you just took
I
it.
have 2 quick questions.
Are they quick?
Would you ship Nai and Goraki from Carnival?
Sure.
And would you do, if I couldn't do this much for my young master, what kind of butler I would be?
If I couldn't do this much for my own master, what sort of
If France got loose in around Funimation, what do you think would happen?
Pangea. All right.
Question, because then we're going to go get routine.
Yes. Last question. You, sir, right back with the camera. I'm going to regret this. I know. Yes, sir.
How was for you playing Scar from Brotherhood?
True story about me taking up the mantle of Scar. Of course, I was a big fan of the original series, but it wrapped just before I became a voice actor, so I didn't get to be part of it. However, I was Soldier A or something in The Conqueror of Shambhala, and that was a red letter day for me as a voice actor. Like, I like to be part of the filming one expansion, holy shit. And then 5 years later, Mike McFarlane, who by then was a close friend, said, hey, so you and Clark can't reprise the role. Brotherhood's coming down the wire. Why don't we try you by the score? I'm like, so somewhere in Funimation is a recording of me doing Scar's very first line. I will do it for you if you'll bear with me for a moment. Somewhere in Funimation is the following. Foolish alchemist to turn their backs on the ways of God shall be punished. Followed by,